Alright, it's recording. Gotta make sure that the mic's turned on. Alright, yep. It's all good. Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Yeah, I'm not posting 2 videos this week. I'm gonna post 3 because I realized for the past like 3 weeks I've only posted 2 videos per week. So yeah, that's a thing. um, hmm. Yeah, I don't want to redo this. So as you can see, this is actually a really old what if that I did. This is what if Deku was Kratos part for I don't Drew, it's been 2 months since I posted part 3. But like if you're an old sub and see like this is part 4, like I did already make part 4 and 5 before, but I deleted them because I didn't like them. So yeah, I decided to redo part 4 and 5 and not like scrap the entire what if because I kind of liked it. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, I'm just redoing it and I'm pretty sure you guys would agree. So yeah, to those of you who are new and honestly didn't even know that there was a part 4 and 5, then yo, what's up? How you doing? Um, Actually, okay, so I do want to change one thing, like one thing. So with Bakio's one for all percentage, so I think I put it at 50% before, and I'm gonna keep that. Don't worry, like I'm gonna keep that, but I'm gonna say he hasn't mastered that yet. Like I'm gonna say he's only mastered 30% and can only do like 50% on impact, if that makes sense. Like I'm pretty sure they explained it inside the anime and manga. Or like he can like move around with 30% and then like when he attacks like the last second he changes. So yeah, it makes sense. I don't want to make him too overpowered at like this early of the story. So yeah. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I guess I could just get into it. I'm taking way too long. I'm sorry. Um, so yeah, where did I leave off? I don't even remember. I didn't even bother looking. Huh. Before this, I think it was the USJ. Yeah, it was USJ. So during the break, because they did go on break, Deku noticed that his blades started to show marks. They were gold, and they looked like ancient symbols, and he could tell that like the marks made his blades more powerful. Like the of course the marks are from God of War 4. Just to let you guys know. The blades like they felt as if they were brand new, and like the flames were brighter. So Deku's smart. He knows like something was upgraded to it. And Deku also still went to All Might's like training like sessions with Bakio to fight him from time to time. Usually he gets stronger by himself though. So he doesn't go like 24/7. I'm gonna say the investigators and police that went to like the USJ afterwards looked through the camera footage, and they of course seen Deku brutally murder the monster, like the Nomu, in half like a god, and cut off the arm of the supposed leader of the attack. So yeah, when I read through that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's something Kratos would do. So after they seen that, they tried to do something, but decided not to. They claimed it was self defense. Really, they just don't want to anger the God of War. So yeah, that's a thing. um, yeah. So I'm gonna say, I keep on saying I'm gonna say. I need to stop doing that. The 2 weeks finish, and when everyone walks in, Aizawa tells them that the way they chose to like clear up what happened with the USJ is that they want to do the sports festival to show that everything's all right now, because that yeah, the class agreed with that, and honestly like moved past that because like you know what cancel culture is like. Yo, cancel culture, like you could do something now and then 10 years down the line you can get destroyed. So that's something I need to be careful with if I'm actually gonna do YouTube. Oh man, I cannot wait to be cancel culture so I can just come back. Forget that crap. Anyway, yeah, let me continue first. Aizawa continues by saying it will be like in a few days. So if you don't want to look like idiots or like just eh, you better train and prepare yourselves. And everyone started to like get hyped, of course. I'm sure I'll be hyped too. I ain't gonna lie. It's freaking sports day on school, bro. Those were the best. But nah, they say how like they're gonna be the ones that win. Bro, those tug of wars. Okay, no, I can't go off. Yeah, yeah. Oh, bro, but those tug of wars, bro. I was in that. But yeah. Where did I leave out? I already forgot. Yeah, like even the extras of the class, they decided to step up their game too. Like the what's the laser beam, dude? It starts with an A. I know that. I don't know. I think eventually. I'm okay. Let me continue on. All right, this is gonna be a long one. So eventually, the time does come for the sports festival, and they're all taken to the stadium. And when they line up, Deku is told to give a speech because he did get first in the entrance exam. So everyone in the crowd, like both audience and competitors, like they're going complete silence as they wait for Deku like to walk towards the mic because he is the god of war. Like everyone knows this now. And he leans in and says like just know that I will win. But you can all at least like make it interesting for the god of war. And yo and that's the first time he's actually addressed himself like as the god of war, like how people keep on calling him that. So all the competitors, like they get mad but are super intimidated. Like Shinso and Monoma, bro, they wanted to say something, but nah, they wusses, bro. They ain't saying crap. After Deku said that, the Midnight first off was super into it, and she said like to get ready for the first challenge. So all the contestants are like led to the starting area, and Deku gets like put in front because ain't no one trying to mess with him. They basically made like a red carpet for him just to get up front. Like, oh, here you go, master, I got you. But nah, President Mike starts to get the audience like hyped up as well because he is President Mike, so you gotta give him like some credit, I guess. But Midnight starts to do the countdown as Deku pulls out his blades. I can't speak. Everyone close to him like backs up, and she says go. So everyone takes off, and Deku just walks forward slowly. Like everyone's already gone. But he Deku just walks, and he's spinning his blades in circles like beside him, like really fast. And I'm gonna say the blades like they connect with the ground and they start to make like small bits of lava appear. And when he gets ready, he throws the blades forwards and he launches himself further than everyone else. Like he was halfway through, um, like while everyone else was like a quarter of the way done. So he just ran like normal the rest of the way because I'm pretty sure I made him super fast with unlimited stamina, so it's all good. Uh, of course, he gets first, and everyone else makes it later. President Mike announces Deku's the winner, and the crowd chants like God of War because they get hyped. I ain't gonna lie, like like some of them might be like a little scared of him, but that's when he gets angry. Like when he's just doing stuff, it's all right. How does everyone know who Deku is already? I probably explained it before, right? I probably said something like it was just rumored like, okay, don't mess with this guy. This guy, he has blades and he has a tattoo. Maybe I said something like that. I don't know. I just know that people know of him. But Midnight gathers everyone up and tells them like what the next challenge is. So I know it's not called like the horse chariot thing, but I can't be asked to look it up. So forgive me, I guess. But everyone begins to pick teams, and Deku just stands there. And a girl walks up to him and says like, "Yo, like let me be on your team." And Deku looks at her, like he's scanning her, like are you qualified to do that? And he asks like, "What can you do?" And she says she only wants to show off her baby since he's in first. Which it's Meihatsume, so yeah. Deku thinks about it and then tells her no. I don't care. I ain't doing that. So she walks off to Todoroki's team, and Deku like closes his eyes again, and hears like a voice that he despises. He goes like, "Oh, bro, is the ogre crying because no one wants to team with him, bro?" Oh, jeez, bro. And Deku opens his eyes when like then looks at Uraka and says like, "What can you contribute?" And bro, this Uraka is honestly my favorite out of all of them, bro. It's just amazing. So she clenches her fist and dead eyes him in the face. Like Deku thinks to himself like, "Huh." She's giving off more of like a threatening intent than Bakugo. Then she said like, "I'm joining you for an easy win." So Deku in a cold tone, he said, "Nah, no, just no." And Uraka, said back like, "You really need to brush your teeth." And Deku is about to like send her off, but the game starts and he's forced to work with her. Logic, I guess. And he just tells her to not get in his way, taking out his blades. Then he sees that no one is going after him. And he thinks like, well, that was expected. And Uraka looks at him and asks like if he's trying to find someone who can scream Olay. Like every single sentence that Uraka does is just like, bro, bro, you're done. Screw off. You just called him a bull, bro. But Deku glares at Uraka and then puts his blades away because he already knows no one's going after him. So he tells her like, she like, yo, you really are the only one in the world that has balls to face me. Bakio doesn't count because I mean, really, Deku challenges him more. But Uraka sees where Deku is coming from and agrees with him that UA is very boring when it comes to competition. And Deku tells her that she's no competition either. So she looks at him, giving off that threatening intent again, and punches Deku in the arm. And Deku didn't budge, not even a bit. So then she flips him off, and then they both see that the game is done. So yeah, I just wanted to put that little bit in there because I had no idea what to do with that. And yeah, Deku just walked away and headed to the locker room. And yeah, while the teachers were like, still setting things up for the next challenge, Deku leaned against the wall and closed his eyes. Bro, I don't think this will be a long one. This might be like a short one. Oh well. Only time could tell in the future. But Deku opened his eyes to see Todoroki grabbing his shirt, and he's just trying to intimidate Deku. Like Todoroki just came out of nowhere, so Deku just grabs his arm and takes it off of him, and then sarcastically asks like, "What's up?" So Todoroki says in a serious tone that he will beat him, and Deku just fakes a quick laugh and asks like if he's serious. And Todoroki gets mad, saying like he will freeze his fire. Deku then just gets serious, pushing himself off the wall, basically like facing like dude face to face, toe to toe, to Todoroki, and tells him like that you can't even if you die trying. So Todoroki gets a bad vibe from Deku, of course, and then walks out the room saying like that Deku's no match for him. So Deku just leans back on the wall again and says to himself that the girl even has bigger balls than the number two son. So that's a thing. So Deku then hears like Bakugo's name get called over the intercom, and he heads out to see the fight. And Deku sees All Might stand like he sees All Might and stands next to him during Bakugo's fight. He just looks at Bakugo like opponent Shinso and says like, however, uh, whoever matched this is either dumb or just doesn't care because Shinso looks weak compared to Bakugo. And All Might tells Deku to at least like give him a chance, and then the match starts. So Shinso instantly goes with his plan, of course, like asking Bakugo if he's ready to lose. And Bakugo, he doesn't respond and starts walking forward. So Shinso starts to panic a bit and starts to, like, mock him, looking for a response. But Bakugo picks up the paste and punches him in the chest, like, just straight up. He's like, alright, fine. 50%, screw you. And, he gets sent flying into a wall, like, nearly destroying the entire section. Like, the ground beneath him is all destroyed. Like, 50%, that's a lot. And, yeah. Yeah, he's just announced the winner. Any, yeah, that's really it. So, the crowd cheers that, like, seeing that huge amount of power that Bakugo just showed off, but Bakugo walks out of the arena and heads towards All Might and Deku because he's seen them. And they all talk for a bit, and Deku, like, walks off to his seat, leaving the conversation. And, that's... Why would they put... I just never... Why would they put that as the first match in, like, canon? Like, just in canon in general. They put Deku versus... Was Deku versus Shinso the first match to happen? I don't know. Wait, was it? I think it was. Bro, that's such a weak match. Like, how are you gonna do that? That's boring. If you want to gain the attention, you got to put the good stuff first and then do the boring stuff and then give it the dramatic finish. That's what you got to do. So yeah, on the way there, he gets stopped by Endeavor, and yeah, you don't want to stop Deku. So he tells Deku, like, when you go against Shota, you better make him use his fire, and then, like, I want to redo this. Hold on. So he tells Deku, when you go against Shota, you better make him use his fire, and then when you do that, lose. So he begins to walk away again, but then feels like a sharp blade go into his shoulder. And it surrounds itself in fire, and Endeavor actually feels the immense heat. So, like, he's like, oh shoot, like, yo, this stuff burns. And he gets confused by that because he's immune to fire, but, not too much because a lot can hurt him. So he tries to pull the blade out, but Deku pulls it back and forces Endeavor to, like, never talk down to him again. Then he says, like, your son will be lucky enough to even be alive when the match is over. So Endeavor just holds his shoulder, and Deku walks off. So Endeavor just got put in his place, and a bit of time passes, and Deku gets called down to fight. And when he makes it, he goes a small grin. I ain't gonna lie, like, making everyone in the crowd get chills. And Deku sees that his opponent is Uraraka, of course, as you do. And she also has, like, an evil grin, making some people confused. So Deku, like, then gets rid of his grin and gets serious. I'm gonna say she doesn't say anything either and gets a serious expression too. So Deku understands, like, that she's taking it seriously, which is good. And Midnight says, like, go, and Deku gets in his stance. Uraraka, charges at him, trying to make him float, and Deku gets a little disappointed, thinking if that's her only plan. So Deku dodges her, like, hands and punches her, just straight up. And Deku actually misses the punch, and it makes him a bit confused when it hits the ground, but he wasn't that off. I don't know why. So, I'm sorry. Here, hold on. The crater in the ground, like, it created dust, and Deku stood up trying to, like, search for Uraraka. I gotta go. Here, hold on. Bro, I've been having to spit all day, and I don't know why. Bro, I've had my water. I don't know why. Okay, let me get into it now. So she drops down behind him, like, using the smoke or the dust, whatever it is, and try to touch him. So Deku turns around, grabbing her arm, and punches her away again. And she gets flown back, but it's still in the arena. Like, she just only just. So Deku sees her getting up, and he gets back into his stance. So people in the crowd, like, they start to have whispers saying, like, for her, telling her to give up. And Deku just turns his eyes like towards a section of the crowd, and they all shut up instantly. Like they see Deku having like an angry expression towards them, or an angry look towards them. And Uraraka stands back up, charging at him again, but there's rocks falling from above this time. So she's pulling off the same bit as she did in canon. So Deku just pulls out one of his blades and covers himself up. And he moves away when he sees Uraraka and punches her again. So when she lands, Deku starts to walk to her like slowly with both blades in hands out. Or what? With both blades in his hands, like just out because he already had one of them and then pulled out the other. The when the crowd sees that, they start to yell at Deku like as they're scared for her life this time. So Deku stops and puts his blades away. Like he wasn't gonna kill Uraraka, of course. Like that's not happening. So Uraraka tries to get back up, and she faints in the process. So Deku gets announced the winner and goes over to Uraraka picking her up. And he takes her out of the arena and goes to the nurse. So the crowd didn't know how to react to that. So they just gave him a pass. And actually the reason why I'm about to get in why Deku took her to the nurse. Uraraka wakes up in the bed and sees like Deku sitting in a chair looking at his phone. And Uraraka says like, "What do you want?" And Deku just looks at her and he says like that she did good, but she needs more training on her fighting abilities. Then he tells her like also she can't only stick to one plan. Like if you it's good to, but if you're heading into a fight, make sure you have backup plans and like action. Because after her like, after her plan went bad, she just started like trying to get him, which didn't work out. And he walks out before Uraraka could say anything like back. And the reason why he actually did that was because before like the challenges even begun or the sports festival in general, he planned on giving those who actually try to fight him advice on their abilities. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there. Gotta build that bond. Um, so a few more fights go on, and Deku gets called again for his next fight, and he meets with Todoroki in the arena. So Todoroki activates his ice, and Deku asks him like if he's gonna use his other quirk. And Todoroki tells him to shut up, of course, just in like every other what if I do. And Midnight takes it as like, they're ready to fight and starts the countdown. So she says go, and Todoroki creates like the biggest ice spike he's ever done before. And he starts to get like angry when it starts to shatter by Deku's punches, like just with like one punch or something. Boom, destroyed. So the crowd goes crazy when they see Deku easily take the attack, and then Deku rushes in towards Todoroki, and he sends more ice spikes. Deku just pulls out his blades, doing some God of War parkour with them. Like pressing R1, swinging them, like like he's inside of a jungle, freaking Tarzan, like ooga ooga. I'm an idiot, bro. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Deku is just being a god right now, as he is, and he reaches to the other side and launches himself at Todoroki. So he makes it and grabs his leg, like grabs Todoroki's leg, throwing him into an ice wall. Full force. Like he's treating him like he's a rag doll or something. So Deku walks towards him and kicks him in the face. So, then he picks him up by the hair and tells him to use his fire. So Todoroki like breathes heavily with a bloody nose and spits towards Deku. And Deku doesn't let the spit land on him because he's a god, and instead starts beating the life out of him. Just straight up. He's about to die. So Midnight tries to stop it, but Deku stops himself and throws Todoroki to the ground. Then he tells him, like, it's your power. If you're blaming it on your father, then you're the most pathetic human in the world. So then he begins to walk the other direction because he thinks, like, okay, I already won. What's the point? But Todoroki actually gets up and activates his fire, like full on, just whoosh. And Deku turns around and Todoroki yells at him, saying like, "Is this what you want? Or is this what you want?" Like that. There we go. And Deku takes out his blades, and then gets like hit with a vision. Okay, and now I gotta actually get serious because this is part of like the story. The vision is him and a kid with a bow are facing an enemy with blue tattoos all over him, and have fire and ice coming off of him. Then Deku hears a woman cry from above yelling, "Kratos, don't do it. Like, that's my son," or something. And he looks up at her and then looks back at the enemy charging at him with the blades of chaos in hand. So the vision ends and Deku gets put back into reality. And he shakes his head and grips his blades like tighter, getting an angry expression. And Todoroki sends off huge waves of fire, and Deku launches himself back towards him. So Midnight gives the signal to end it, and the cement hero makes multiple walls to stop them. But the smoke clears, and Deku is seen like standing there with both blades in hand, with his like clothes kind of torn up. And Todoroki is left out of the arena, dazing in and out. So Deku gets announced the winner, and the crowd just goes nuts. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna do something with that in the future. Like if I actually make more parts to this. So yeah, after the arena gets patched up and Deku like or and fixed, Deku is still standing in the arena the entire time. Like he knows who he's fighting last. So Bakio launches himself to the arena from a seat, and he lands on the other side and activates his full cowl. So like immediately, like he ain't playing no games. And Deku activates his Spartan rage that he's been holding back as well. Like he's been saving up that crap. And everyone seeing that already knows like something's about to happen. So Midnight does the like countdown and says go. And they both charge in like straight up box. Like it's going insane. So they're both doing like hit after hit, and both of their auras are like getting bigger and brighter. So Bakio then like throws explosions at Deku, and they're at gauntlet level since he used like 50% on impact. No, 50% would be larger than that. What 50% be? Bro, 50%, screw it. 10 gauntlets. 10 gauntlets all put together in one go. Boom, there we go. That's how big the explosion was for each one. So Deku blocks it just straight up, like he can take it. And then he rushes at Bakio and he reaches him like and starts destroying him like just like blood going everywhere. So Bakio gets angry and puts his hand to Deku's face, creating like another large explosion. And it's like so insane that the cement hero, like he has to create like a dome or like walls to protect the actual viewers or like the watchers, the audience. It's like that insane. So um if I can talk, yeah, Deku just punches him away in time for the explosion to go off course. What am I saying? No. Okay, yeah. So Bakio gets angry and then does that. Yeah. Deku punches Bakio away in time for the explosion to go off course. Yeah. Then he punches the guard or the ground, making like a large shockwave. Deku did that. Oh, I'm trying to get focused again. I don't know why. I'm not even gone. um, I think it's just because it's starting to get hot. But Bakio gets hit by it and like gets pushed back. Like he gets hit by the shockwave. So Deku continues it by going to Bakio again and continue punching him over and over. Like I'm gonna say he's Deku's punching him like how Kratos did to Zeus at the end of God of War 3. Like that's how messed up it is. So Bakio is just seen all bloody, even more than Todoroki, and Deku tells him that he's still weak and throws him across the arena. So Deku finds the match so easy so easy that he loses his Spartan rage. And All Might can see that Deku is just like dragging out the fight for the audience at this point, and wonders like how strong is he? Like Deku can fight one for all 30% and 50% like it's nothing. So Bakio gets back up and watches himself at Deku. Like again, like Bakio's basically fighting for his life. But Deku grabs him by the face and slams him into the ground, making another large crater. I'm gonna say this time it goes outside of the arena and onto the ground, like the actual ground. So Deku takes his hand off, and Bakio just lays there like taking deep breaths, but looks like he's about to like I'm gonna die. So the the medics they instantly they come in. They're like, okay, this is over. We're taking him. So they take Bakio away, and Midnight announces Deku the winner of the festival, and the crowd like cheers, chanting "God of War." And I'll leave it off there, I guess. Actually, this might be a long one. I don't know. I want it to be like, bro, I could have 3 long posts in like 1 week. That's crazy. But yeah, I know it looks like. Okay, let me actually like do some stuff. All right, so I know it looks like Todoroki is stronger than Bakugo, but just know he isn't by a long shot, and that I'm just a bad describer and storyteller. So yeah, I guess. And yeah, let's just hope it doesn't take me another 2 months to make a part 5 if you guys like this. And yeah, I already said with that vision Deku had, like I'm planning on doing more stuff with it. And I want to say something for the picture. Yeah, for the picture. So right now it's this picture, but I was trying to actually look for something like better, but I couldn't. So if you can like find a better picture, freaking tweet it to me. just tweet it to me. I have my Twitter on my channel on the about page. I'm pretty sure. You have to go to my channel or something because I don't have it in the description anymore. So yeah, if you can find me a better picture, I'll appreciate it. But yeah. Anyways, make sure you all have yourselves a good one and peace out.